What's up, guys? Welcome back to Between the Pylons. I'm John Camacho. Thank you so much for watching. And guys, today I have to make a confession to you. Today I have to tell you I'm in love. And it's not my longtime girlfriend that I'm talking about this time. It is Patrick Jones III out of Pittsburgh. I am in love. I'm in love. I love this player, and I know, I get it. He's not like one of these hot names or anything or whatever. I don't care. I am in love. I am holding on to this love. I am curating this love. And when he gets drafted in the second or third round, I will be telling the world how great he is going to be. And maybe I'll regret making this video if he's not awesome or if he falls to the third day or something crazy like that. Let's get into Patrick Jones, man. I love this player. Let's talk about his size and stats here for a second. Senior, 6'5", 260 pound, very lean. I will admit that. Like, I'd like to see a little bit more bulk on his body, but the past two seasons have been absolutely awesome. He has 115 total tackles, but he's gotten 42 and 44 in the past two seasons for Pitt. He's gotten 21 total sacks, but he's gotten 8.5 and 9 the past two seasons. Has 5 total forced fumbles. Guy has a ton of production the past 2 years. It is a guy who just gets after the quarterback. He is a pass rusher through and through. Let's get to the skill chart so I can kind of break down his game in a different way. So first of all, his burst and first step, he is shot out of a cannon explosive. I mean, dude flies. Dude is explosive as hell. I think I like his get off more than anybody else's in the class. I really think I think it's that good. I love it. His explosiveness off the line is legit. It is next level. His flexibility and bend, he can get under that shoulder. He can get under that offensive lineman on his way to the quarterback. He turns that corner very, very well. All the things you need to see from a defensive end, it's there. Athleticism at a 7.5. I mentioned shot out of the cannon. I think he's explosive as hell. He pops off the screen for me every single play. Every single play, he pops off the screen. Now, I will say, and it's not really something that I mentioned in the skill chart here, but he is lean. He's a little bit smaller, and I get that that's probably going to be a big thing for teams. I don't imagine that he's a guy that you just look at and think, oh shit, he's a dog, right? Like that's not his body type. He's a little bit longer and leaner. Doesn't have like those long arms that you'd like to see, even though he's 6'5". Like I don't consistently see just like ridiculously long arms like I'd probably like to, but I don't care. He's athletic as hell, and he does all the things I want to see from a defensive end. Play strength at a 5.6, very good. He's a strong guy. No issues with that at all. Hand usage, look, I think he has a ton of moves in the bag. Like he really does. He can make a ton of moves. You know, he's a little bit sloppy. He misses too much. Like when a offensive lineman tries to counter him, too often, like I see him just a little bit late to the club, a little bit off timing wise, but it's not a huge issue for me, and it's still a positive grade. He uses his hands well. He has a ton of pass rushing moves. Like he has a variety of moves. I think his favorite is just the bull rush, but I saw enough moves from everything else that I watched on him that I'm good with it. I definitely think there's a lot of room to improve, but I want to be saying that. I want to feel like I love the athleticism, but I still think there's a lot of room to improve. I feel good about that. Leverage at a 4.8. There's some good and bad here, right? So he does do a really good job of getting his arms in a lineman's chest and just kind of like putting him off balance and getting good leverage that way. He has long enough arms where he can do that sufficiently well. I will say, he can get blocked out of a play a little bit. He gets off balance a little bit more often than I would like. That's why it's not quite as high as I would maybe like it to be as far as the leverage grade goes. Still a positive grade at a 4.8. That's just above average. But we're talking about NFL prospects, so you probably like it to be a little bit more than just average. So I'm fine with it. I think it can get better. There were certainly some times where it was like, oh shit, like he is gaining control of these offensive linemen left and right, but it wasn't as consistent as you'd like it to be, and that's okay. Tackling at a 5.6, no issue at all with that. I had no problem there. He always has his eyes on the ball. He always has eyes in the backfield. He always knows where the ball is going, so he can get to the running back sufficiently well. And that kind of feeds itself into read and react and versus the run as I just go through this skill chart here at a 6.1 with read and react. Like as I said, he he understands the play. He has a very high football IQ, I think. As a senior in college, having a ton of reps under his belt, that he probably should. And I feel good about that. I feel comfortable with that at a 6.1. Versus the run, look, he has good gap integrity. He does a good enough job of understanding his assignment and following it to the best of his ability, but he is a leaner guy, and I don't think he projects as a run stuffer. I don't think he projects as a guy that you really even want on first downs when it's possibly a running play. This is a guy who's not going to get enough snaps against like teams like the Titans and teams like the 49ers that are going to run the ball down your throat if they can. This is a guy who is a pass rusher. That's what he is. He is a pass rusher. He wants to beat the offensive lineman around the edge and get to the quarterback and wreak havoc. That's what he's going to be in the NFL. That's what I think he can be in the NFL. Motor at an 8. We are talking about a guy who is unrelenting in a way that I've used that word a lot to describe a lot of guys, but this is just next level. I mean, he is a dog chasing the mailman. He is going after it every single play. Dude gets it. Dude does not give up. Dude fights. He fights. I love it. Technique at a 4. Yeah, he needs to refine his pass rushing moves, right? He really does. He has a lot of tools in the bag, but he doesn't quite know how to use them all yet. All right. That's the best way I can put it. He has a lot of tools in the bag, but he doesn't quite know how to use them all. Overall, I feel good about saying that about somebody, because you know what that means? That means he has a ton of room to grow. And from what I saw in college to where I think he can be in the NFL, I'm very excited about growth potential. I really am. I love this player. He is constantly in the backfield. He is constantly causing havoc. And yeah, he does need to refine his technique. He does need to refine his pass rushing repertoire. And I think he will. I feel confident about his ability to grow from that regard. And coverage, I put it at a 4.5. 4.5 is my dead average grade. Listen, I would take it off if I could. I didn't want to kill him for it, but he wasn't in coverage. He didn't line up on the inside. He lined up at the edge at that, wide 9, 7 tech, 9 tech. Like that's what he did. That's what he does. He is a pass rusher. This is not a guy who you're putting inside. He's too small. He would get beat up inside. Let's be honest. He's not a guy who's going to be in coverage. Maybe he could do it. Like, I like I like his ability to change direction and turn. Like, I think he has loose enough hips and all of those things that they get into like flexibility and stuff. So I don't hate the possibility of him sitting back in coverage a couple plays per game. But beyond that, no, you're rushing the passer. That's what he is. That's what he's going to be. Overall, guys, I see a dude, and this is bold. I know. I get it. And I'm probably going to get crap for this, and that's totally fine. There's a lot of reasons that maybe guys are going to be lower on him than I am, and I understand that to an extent. But to me, this is a borderline first-round pick. To me, this is a guy I am absolutely in love with. I really believe in the potential, and I get it's a little bit of a projection. It certainly is. I'm taking what I saw as the raw physical tools, and I'm projecting him to grow in a scheme that fits him. I am. But in that projection, I think he should be an early second-round pick. I really do. That's where I want him. I think he's borderline first round pick, and I've heard no buzz about this guy. This is a guy I'd never heard of. I had heard about his running mate, Rashad Weaver, more than I had heard about Patrick Jones. I actually watched Rashad Weaver before I watched Patrick Jones, and I kept thinking, oh, dude, this underclassman is going to be really good when he comes out. And then come to find out, oh, that's Patrick Jones. He's not an underclassman. He's a senior. Oh shit. He's coming out this year. Oh shit. He's on my list of guys I need to watch. Oh shit. Why have I not heard anything about him? Like that was my introduction to a Patrick Jones. And again, I get that it's a big projection for me. I get that this is a guy who's being mocked and being talked about as, a mid-round guy who's not getting a ton of love. And I get it. But hey, I'm going to give him the love because I believe in the talent. And that's why I'm here talking about him today. Patrick Jones, do not sleep on him. Please consider it. Look into it. Watch his highlights. Give him a chance. If you're watching this after he's been drafted and you're just trying to get a good feel for the dude, hey, I hope this gives you a good feeling because I am pumped. I hope he goes to my Dolphins. I really do. But all right, guys, that's all I have on Patrick Jones. Please like this video if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe if you think you would enjoy more. And leave a comment below what you think about Patrick Jones. And if you'd like me to do a draft profile video on anybody else, I'm all ears. And I will try to get to it before the NFL draft starts in late April. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.